Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. It is Wednesday, and the clock is not moving. There it is. Just jumping on here, very impromptu, and let's just see who shows up. Whoever does can shoot questions at me, because I'm just going to do another Q&A session here. Hi there, Elgin. Nice to see you here. Kaplana, welcome. Let me know where everyone's from, and then I want to jump into a topic that I think is really important for singers, is to really how do you feel your voice? How do you know when you're doing too much or not enough, if you're challenging yourself enough, if you're in your comfort zone too much, or if you're overdoing it and maybe damaging something. So hi, Beatrice, hi, VD Songs. Why is it doing this again? It's doing this to me again. Okay, hold on just a second. This is the weirdest thing. Maybe I should use my tablet in the future. I totally wanted to do a Q&A, and now let's just see. Okay, let me just check something here. I'm having that same problem that I had last time, and I don't... got it. Now I can see. I can't see the time anymore, but that's okay. I can totally see your messages now. Yeah, and I just really wanted to answer some of the questions after I get into the topic. I really wanted to talk a little bit about how to feel your voice, and I will answer your question in just a little bit. What is the basic thing to do in singing? I think there's not one basic thing, but I think breathing is extremely important, and connected to breathing really is good posture and support, because even if you're breathing correctly, the inhalation process is only half of the equation, because you also need the exhalation process, which means controlling how much pressure the air has that comes out. And that is determined by the posture, which really controls your ability to support. So it's all interconnected. Singapore, nice. Can I make a video on how to sing The Power of Love by Frankie Goes to Hollywood? I could probably one day. I have like a list this long about what videos I should make, but keep your suggestions going, and I will, when I feel inspired and I have the sheet music, I may do something like Stone Cold. I have that one. Search it. I have a video on how to sing Stone Cold. I cannot learn singing in YouTube, or do I need a coach? I've talked about this many times. I think there is a lot you can do on your own, but when it comes to singing especially, it's really good when you have someone watching you, and someone who really has experience, because it's very, very easy to get into bad habits, and you may not even know that you're not quite doing the exercise right that you're watching at the time. I see this all the time. Just singing pitches is only one part of doing some exercises. Even if you watch videos and they show you exercises, executing them correctly is a lot more difficult sometimes than you may think. So I think if you can at all have actually a personal coach, it's a wonderful thing. It doesn't even have to be weekly, but if you can find someone who can check up with you every once in a while, even if it's once a month or so, having a lesson and having a coach check in with you and see what you've been working on. So that would be great. I just answered that question about that, the power of love. I am a singer and I don't like my voice. What to do? So let me talk about this. Okay, when you don't like your voice, that's a statement that has no specifics. I don't like my voice. So what is it that you don't like about the voice? Is it that you don't sing accurate pitches? Is it the sound color? And if it is the color of your voice, does it sound narrow? Does it sound pressed? Does it sound strained? Or does it sound breathy? What is the exact quality that you dislike? So just saying I don't like my voice is not really a statement that you can fix. You can't fix anything about a voice that just like, I just don't like it. But if you find out what it is exactly that you don't like, then you have the beginning of a strategy of how to fix things. So always tell yourself, and I think it's a really important thing that you do come to the point where you do like your voice. Maybe you don't like it all the time and not all aspects of it, but if you actually learn to love the voice in general, and then work on those parts that are still hard for you. Maybe high belting is hard, or maybe head voice is still hard for you, or maybe chest voice is hard for you and you're good at head voice. There's something in your voice that's probably good. And so start from there and try to expand out from there. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how to feel your voice. So hold your questions for just a few minutes. I want to talk about this so I don't get distracted here. I think the connection between mind and body, and the sound of your voice is just great. It's huge. I think the problem we have nowadays a lot of times is that we are so not in touch with our bodies, and also we totally dismiss how our mind really affects our body, and then of course at the same time our voice. I mean, if you've ever had a really stressing day, very stressful or even stressful days and weeks, you may have noticed that your voice doesn't quite operate the same because your body gets tense. You start having tension in your neck when you're stressed and your shoulders. So how do you expect your voice to work perfectly when your body is really kind of out of whack and not centered? When I mean centered, I don't mean something woo-woo. I literally mean off center, meaning you have tension and your body, what your body tries to do is sending your little signals and messages of, I'm off balance here, literally. Whenever your left leg is hurt, your right leg will do more work to compensate for the weakness that is in the other leg. And that's just how it works. And it's the same with your voice. Your voice always compensates for what is lacking. So always feel your body in order to feel your voice. So you have to really feel what is going on inside of you. So feeling what foods and what drinks do affect you, that is just a matter of trial and error and just trying things out and finding it out for you personally. It's, if I were a doctor too, I could not tell you telepathically what those symptoms mean that you may have. So if you told me I have a hoarse voice all the time and I get very hoarse very quickly, I can't quite diagnose it just because I can't see your body in action. I can't see what you're doing. I also don't know your personality because it does have a lot to do with the way you sing. It tends to be that if you have a very energetic personality and you're always kind of full of power and energy, that really reflects in your singing. So a lot of times, if you had a personality like that, you would probably oversing or have the tendency to oversing, to push a little too hard and to always go too far on the end of pushing and pressing, breathing out too much air, not having enough compression maybe, and just too much strain on the vocal cords. On the other hand, if your personality is more, if you're a very quiet and laid back person, that it really affects your body. If you're someone who's more shy and timid and introverted, a lot of times even your speaking voice reflects that. You may not speak as loudly, and also it may be a lot harder for you to sing out loud, which means you don't probably support a lot. You have undertension, which means maybe you have more breathiness, and it's a lot harder for you to sing higher because you can't really come up with that pressure, that density of air that is required. So feeling your voice self, and am I doing too much? Is it actually causing strain? Not just pushing yourself for just a short moment. You definitely need to expand all the time and not only stay in your comfort zone. But ask yourself when you feel your voice, nobody can tell you that. You're the only one who can feel your own body. You're the only one inside of your body and inside of yourself in your mind also. You're the only one who can feel that. You need to protect what you have, really. Or is it really a matter of you're not ever pushing enough? You might always tend to stay in the comfort zone and never give it enough force and just kind of step out a little bit and try something that is a risky or something that is a little bit more risky. So feeling your body and really knowing when it's too much and when it's not enough. It's really a matter of listening to your body and feeling, is it hurting to the point where I feel tomorrow I'm going to be hoarse? Or is it just a little bit uncomfortable because I'm always used to kind of stay in the very easy comfort zone? So it's really a matter of feeling your body and feeling your voice. It's so important that you feel exactly what is going on. Also, when you feel like something is just not working, really try to feel where the problem lies and really go through that checklist of, am I feeling my support? Am I actually feeling my support when I'm doing what I just did that caused me problems? Am I feeling it? Am I even registering what I'm doing, or is it just coincidentally happening? Am I actually intentionally using my support? Am I intentionally breathing? Do you feel your breath? Do you feel how your ribs expand? Do you feel how they come back in as you're exhaling? Are they collapsing too much? Are they collapsing quickly and cause you to lose a lot of air because there's not enough left now? Is it that maybe your larynx position is causing you a lot of strain and maybe you're like, I'm pushing it up, or I'm pushing it down? What is it? Can you feel your larynx and what it does? Try to pay attention. Really, it's very helpful. You could make a list and write down the different parts of the singing mechanism, I guess. Your shoulders are part of it, because can you feel your shoulders? You see my dog back there. Can you feel what your shoulders do? Can you feel that you're relaxing them or that you're tensing them up? What about your neck? Can you feel your neck? Can you feel what it does? Make a checklist. Really write down all those parts on a list. Neck, jaw, head, chest, arms, diaphragm, or like ribs. More like maybe ribs, rib cage. Tongue, the tip of the tongue. Your soft palate, your pharynx, which is a little further back. All those parts. Vocal cords. And then make a list. And then this is just kind of an exercise. It's almost like a meditation, but it's not really a meditation. It's more like sing a passage and pay attention to just one area in your body and feel that area of your body. So just pay attention to what your larynx does for a while and sing through a passage of a song and just pay attention to what it does. Feel it. Try to pay attention, because chances are you've never actually registered what is happening. And then try to change something about the way you're engaging your larynx and feel how that affects how the singing feels. And then of course listen and feel kind of how does the sound change by me changing the larynx position. So those are just a few things. I will answer your question. So that's just food for thought that you may want to do, because I think it's very important to be connected to your body, to your mind, and to all the parts of your voice, to really feel your voice, because it determines what comes out. If you want to fix something, you got to feel where it is. You kind of got to know, like troubleshooting. Where's the problem right now? Okay, let me answer some more questions. So Idonzi is saying, hi Freya, just wondering why you do reaction videos. Please do some. Oh, why I don't do some reaction videos? I did one recently, and it was just because I thought it was kind of funny. It was in a very funny way. I don't like doing reaction videos that, show anything negative, really. But what I did want to do, and I'm hopefully putting some up in the near future. I'm just trying to figure out some of the technical things. How am I going to exactly do that? But what I do want to do is I want to actually take a passage or a short passage of a music video of like a popular song and explain how that singer is doing what they're doing in that passage. Because I get asked a lot of times, like, what is happening here? What is this singer actually doing? And a lot of times it's really hard to hear and to pick out what's happening. What are they doing technically? And that's something I really would like to do in some videos, just to really tell you this is what they're doing and this is how they're doing it. Okay, Choco Milk, yummy. I watched a couple of compilations of people singing a song, but on the same key. But for example, on the high note, some of them sound higher and more impactful. Is it because of the type of voice? Yes, absolutely. Somebody's voice, I mean, you could sing the same pitch, but one person's voice sounds a lot darker and another person's voice sounds very bright. So it almost sounds like one sings higher and the other sings lower, although it is the exact same pitch. That's exactly what it is. Every human being has a different voice type and voice color. My voice color is kind of more on the brighter end, not extreme, but lighter, brighter. There's women who have more like a maybe darker voice, which doesn't mean it's really lower. Okay, in which register should I sing? Like mix, chest, or head? All. Some songs will require you to just engage your chest voice. Some songs you will need to just sing in head voice. For example, if you're a soprano and you're singing a classical opera aria, you need only head voice. But you also need head voice sometimes when you sing pop music and you want to go extremely high. And then mixed voice, it also depends on the color you want to create and how high you go. I mean, you need all of the registers, which there are basically 2 registers. Chest voice, head voice. Heavy mechanism, light mechanism. They call it heavy and light, although there's nothing heavy, like lighter about it. Like if you sing like an opera singer, there's really nothing light about it. But it's technically what's happening is that in the chest mechanism, there's a lot more of the mass of the vocal folds moving than in head voice. That's why we call it heavy or lighter. Yeah, so you need all registers, practice all of them all the time. If you have not downloaded it, I have a free 30-minute audio warm-up. You can just go to my website, masteryourvoice.tv, and you can get it there. And there's a bunch of other free things. If you have not downloaded all of my free things, you need to get over there and download. I have a free 5-day belting challenge. I have a free 7-day video course that is about your support, 7 days to perfect support. I got a video series about the most common singing mistakes. And I got some vocal warm-up audio programs on there. You can all download. There's a page, a whole page on my website that is just free stuff, masteryourvoice.tv. So, let's see. Is nose voice bad? How to reduce nose voice? Technically, you don't call it nose voice because the voice is always here, but you mean nasal sound. Now, actually, we sometimes want more nasal quality. You can basically have resonance in a lot of different places when you're singing any given pitch. Depending on the pitch also, if it's higher or lower, when it sits lower, the resonance tends to be lower in your body, more in your chest, like ma, if you put your hand on your chest. Now that's my low point. If you have a lower pitch you can sing in your voice, sing a low pitch and put your hand on your chest. Hello. You can totally feel it vibrate. Now, if you sing a really high pitch in your voice, hello, hello. No, I don't feel anything vibrating here anymore. Hello. I don't know. You could really, actually, literally feel if you like, you know, like a Vulcan mind melt. But if you actually put your fingers there, you can kind of feel a little vibration. It's harder to feel the high vibration, like the fast vibrations, because they vibrate so fast, you don't really have that sensation of vibrating. So, am I dark? Am I okay? My face is kind of dark today. So, yeah, and nasal resonance is something, you know, you can resonate here in your mouth And then, of course, this is also an area where there can be resonance. Any nasal sound like I mean, those are letters that are in our language, most languages, I guess. And so that is a nasal resonance, totally. However, on open vowels, you want to ideally minimize nasal resonance most of the time. There's exceptions where you actually want to have a really nasal sounds like, yes, I have, I am singing. It's like if you wanted to maybe like act like whatever. Whatever. If you wanted to sound like la, 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 you would make it very narrow and not really open your throat, and you would have a nasal resonance, a little bit more nasal. But if you want a nice round tone, you don't want too much nasal resonance. There will always be nasal resonance. You can't cut it off. It's like it's part of like the mask and that whole area of resonance that is happening when you're singing. However, of course, you don't want to just have nasal resonance. And the way you can avoid that is by lifting soft palate, opening up the throat, and trying to really make a space there to where the sound waves now can only move through my nose, but they can actually go into my mouth also. So in most genres, you don't really want too much nasality. It's the same voice though. Okay. I can't sing high because of the phlegm, I think. There's something in my throat. I don't know. I really cannot tell you. If you have phlegm, if you have phlegm, you should still be able to sing a high tone. However, it would sound scratchy probably because there's something on your vocal cords. Now, it might be that you don't have phlegm, but you don't have enough engagement of those muscles that are actually engaging the vocal, that are actually helping the vocal folds to vibrate freely and to have that tension. It might be. So if I'm going, I can't even do it now on a high tone. Let me do it on a lower tone. I can't. My voice always wants to be clear, but it's like, I can sing. See, there's a little vocal fry setting in, and it may feel like I have junk on my throat, but it might also happen because I'm not really keeping my throat open and I don't have enough tension there between my, my vocal folds to actually have a nice vibration and have a clean sound. So I don't know. I can't. Okay, just a little question. There's no little questions. They're all big questions, right? Is airy or disconnected voice and chest voice is called falsetto or just airy voice? Okay, now it's all different. Airy and disconnected. That I would never use the word disconnected because falsetto is not in any way disconnected. It's really more a falsetto. The definition that I know is that falsetto is like a head voice, but in a more breathy way. So this is not falsetto because it's not in my head voice. This is falsetto. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is falsetto. This is falsetto. So this is falsetto. It's breathy and it's on the top. It's not disconnected. Your vocal cords are just a little bit looser. You're letting them a little bit loose, not wide gap, a little gap. Otherwise it becomes way too airy and breathy. Not good. Too much strain. Even it's almost like the breathiness sound has a brilliance to it. The breathy sound almost has a resonance on its own. You know what I mean? It's like, no breathy. Just the lots of breath, no resonance. Can you hear the difference? The last one was supposed to be with more resonance in the breath itself. I don't know if you can hear it. I hope that makes sense now. Oh, Julia's here. I didn't. Oh, once a teacher told me to make the airflow through the back head to the front head. Oh, this would be for head voice. There's a nice graphic out there that kind of shows where the resonance takes place. And it definitely does move from your chest to like this, to the back of your head, and then goes up here and lands here. Like you're singing a high, low pitch, higher, 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 high pitch, highest pitch. Now the directing the air, okay, because otherwise I believe it would sound on the front mask directly without all the cycling thing. Did you mean cycling? I don't quite understand right now. Okay, but now the thing is about directing your air, there's different images you could kind of imagine to help you direct the air. It doesn't matter if you think maybe toward the back and then the top. It's maybe not the air flowing, it's more like the resonance we imagine. We imagine the sound waves going that way. The breath really doesn't go anywhere. Once it hits the vocal folds, it's kind of translated and transformed into vibration. So once vibration is happening by the vocal cords, you know, vibrating and moving really quickly, those sound waves can be directed, right? And so what we want ideally is direct them kind of like think that's really basically if you want to have a nice brightness in your voice and it to carry. You want to think it goes like back here and then out your forehead. That's kind of what you imagine. What you're doing by doing that is you raise your soft palate more, you open up the throat so there is as much space as possible so the sound waves can actually not stop here, but they can move all the way, you know, into your mouth, into those bone structures and all the hollow places in your skull, all the way up into your forehead. You want to allow those sound waves to move and to, it's almost like radiating out sound waves off of your whole, like your entire head, instead of just, oh, and it's just basically just coming out here. And because I'm blocking, it's just in my throat. And that's what we mean by sounding throaty. That's kind of, you're pressing and you're not letting the sound waves come out of your whole head and chest for that matter. Okay, how are we on time? Let's see. 27 minutes, so I do need to wrap it up. I wish I could do this longer, but my daughter's about to come home from school and I have to prepare lunch. Okay, so I'm going to plan to do this sometime. Sometimes I have more time and sometimes I have less, but maybe I will do it again in the next few days or maybe on the weekend even, because I think my daughter isn't going to be here. Might have a little bit of time and I'm not traveling. I've been traveling so much in the past few months. It's like, now I'm tired of all the traveling. I just want to stay home for once. Thank you so much. I think I have to wrap it up now. Yeah, please check back if I'm ever live. I can't really tell you an exact time when I'll be live again. But just, you know, if you're subscribed and you hit the bell symbol, you should get a notification of when I go live. And of course, you can always watch the replay. So yeah, having to go off now. Thanks for hanging out, and do go to my website, masteryourvoice.tv. Lots of free resources on there. Tons of stuff that you can download. If you have not downloaded all of it, chances are you might find exactly what you're looking for on that page. Okay, thank you and have a wonderful day. I will see you soon. Bye.